Hey friend, in this video, I'm going to show you an EQ plugin that has helped me get better at EQ by a lot. Except there's no numbers. I don't even know what frequencies I'm using. And I think the main reason it has made me better at EQ and why it can probably make you better at EQ is because it was so much more fun to use. Like you weren't thinking about, oh, I should add 10K to this or remove 500 hertz from that. It was more like, I'm just going to twist these knobs and see how it sounds and see what I like about it. And so the EQ that we're talking about is Instinct EQ from Black Salt Audio. Let's check it out. So this is EQ. And first of all, I just want to shout out all plugin companies who are doing this, that, you know, you can resize it. So I can literally just come down here to the bottom corner and make it like, you know, because it starts off like here. And I'm like, wow, that's small. And do I need glasses? Maybe. But I love that you can make it bigger, which is so kind of ironic, right? That I'm even talking about this because this is the anti of mixing with our eyes, right? So this whole EQ is built so that you don't have to, you don't have all this information coming at you. You know, I think a lot of the time, you know, especially in this day and age of phones and TV and everything, we have so much information just consuming our face and our mind and our eyes and everything. It's overwhelming. And so shout out to Black Salt Audio for even making a plugin like this. And I am going to say that if you guys do like this plugin, there's an affiliate link down below. It just gives me a small kickback and it really goes a long way to help the channel, my family, and for me to do more stuff like this. So anyways, just if you guys like it, like don't, you know, whatever. Anyways, so I'm gonna go over the plugin real quick. Super simple. So you have an EQ, kind of a tonal section, and then you have a surgery section, and you can turn off that each side independently. And so this works, you know, pretty much like a normal EQ. You have your top band, you have two mid bands, and a low band. And on the top and the low band, you have just a regular EQ curve, or you have a shelf. And then on the mid bands, you either have a tight EQ curve or just a normal one. And by normal one, I don't really know what it is. I don't know how wide it is. I don't know how wide the Q is. It's up to them. But that's the great thing about it, is you don't worry about that kind of stuff. You just move stuff around. And then each of them has, you know, a minus and a plus. You don't know how many dB each one is. That's kind of the point. You don't know what frequency you're choosing unless you can hear it perfectly because you have amazing, perfect ears, which would be cool. You have a high and a low cut, high pass filter, low pass filter. And you have phase and output, and then you have a vibe select, the analog and the clean. From what I've noticed in my personal, me hearing it back, listening to it, I don't notice much of a difference. And then on the surgery section, you can see the cues are very tight. So you're literally just finding frequencies that sound bad and pulling them out. And so on the notch 4 and notch 1, they are fairly tight, I believe. Or no, notch 1 and notch 2 and notch 4. They're really tight. And then you can see on notch 3 and 4, notch 3 and 1, they're a little bit more opened up a little bit. You can just see them slightly. But anyways, it doesn't really matter what it looks like. That's kind of the point of the plugin, I guess. But but let's just hear what it sounds like. So we are using this song from my friend Jake McFerrin. The song is Known by You. Or wait, he changed the name and I'm blanking on the name. Anyways, I'll put the link down below for you guys can check out the whole song. But anyways, we're just going to EQ his lead vocal here. I'm just going to give you guys a little snippet of it, of one of the choruses.
And what it means to be known and still loved by you.
And so what we have on it is just a little bit of waves tune, catching some of the notes that maybe when it got melodined, it just didn't get quite, there. And then on Pro Q4, I'm just pulling out some low mid frequencies that I really didn't like. 389, 780. And so we'll just bypass that and I'll show you guys what that sounds like.
And what it means to be known and still loved by you.
So just tightening up the vocal a little bit. And then we're hitting out the CLA 76 on the Blackie setting. My attack is pretty fast and the release is as fast as possible in 4:1 ratio.
And what it means to be known and still loved by you.
Hitting it fairly hard, because you can with the 76. Sounds great. And then we're putting the Instinct EQ. So you see this first one here. That is what I did initially when I first used it on the album or on the song. And by the way, I have actually been using this on my mixes because it's made mixing so much more fun. I actually used it. I think this was one of the first songs I used it quite a bit, and I used it on all the vocals. I think I used it on some of the drums as well. So killer. So let's just EQ this vocal together, blindly, I guess, or not blindly, with our ears, like you should be. That makes sense.
And what it means to be known and still loved.
So I felt like in the lower mids there were still some more stuff that was kind of almost like shadowing his voice, like making it sound muffled. And I believe it's right there, whatever that frequency is.
Loved by you. And what it means to be known and still loved by you.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And what it means to be known
And now I want some nice top end to this.
and still loved by you. And what it means to be known and still loved by you. And what it means to be known and still loved by you.
All right, bypass.
And what it means to be known and still loved by you.
Already night and day, and that was like, to me that was so much fun because we're just looking for frequencies, we're just looking for stuff. And so now that I've added some of that top end, that's really shimmery, there's a couple of frequencies that are just, they're bothering me, and so let's go find those real quick.
And what it means to be known
Right there.
and still loved by you. And what it means to be known and still loved by you. And
You got a
what
whistle.
it means to be known and still loved by you.
All right, completely off here.
And what it means to be known.
It sounds awesome, like night and day difference. But you know what? It doesn't really matter in solo. So let's just give this a listen. So we're going to start with it off in the mix, and then we'll turn it on.
And I can't comprehend what it means to be known and still loved by you. Only you, Lord. And I give all I am to the one who restores and makes all things new.
Man, puts it right on top of the mix, and I don't know, I didn't even have to think to do that. I was just in the zone EQing. I wasn't being like, oh man, should I add 10.2K because I saw Luke Hendrickson do it, or should I pull this out or whatever? No, I was just listening to it and making decisions while EQing. It's just so much. This is what makes mixing more fun. Is you stop worrying about a lot of the technical detail. Which, not saying the technical detail doesn't matter. It does matter, but this just makes it more fun. And the more fun you have, usually the better you do. That's a little hack. Okay, so I also did this on kick drum. And whenever we recorded this song, the kick drum had a weird flabby sound to it that I didn't hear while we were recording. It was totally my fault. And so we are just using a sample, unfortunately. And so here is the sample here. And then I used Instinct EQ here to make it a little bit tighter. And so we added some top end. We added a lot of top end, pulled out some woofy mid range, and even pulled out a little bit of low end because the sample had a lot of low end. So let's bypass this. And then back in. All right, and then what does that sound like in the mix?
I can't comprehend what it means to be known and still loved.
Back cutting through the mix so much better. And then after that kick drum, just so everybody can see, add a little bit of attack and remove some sustain. Just a quick tip for anybody. A lot of samples, especially in kicks and toms, have too much sustain. Anyways, so again, and then last but not least, I want to show you guys. I did this just for fun, just to see what it would do. But I actually put it on the end of my mix bus here. So I have my kind of my standard mix bus, chain. And if you're interested, I go through what I put on my mix bus. There's a couple different videos of what I've done, but if you've ever been curious about what to put on there, you just go check one of those videos out. Helps a ton. But I was like, you know what if I just put this on there and started pulling things out? Listen to the difference that this made. Now, I'm not sure if I would roll with this. I would probably go fix the problems internally, but I did this, the song has already been out, already been mixed, all that's already been done. So I'm not worried about that now, but just check this out. So this is off. And then on. Off. Back on. Like, I don't know if you're feeling that. I don't know if you're listening to it on your monitors, your headphones or whatever, but I just feel like the energy just takes this huge jump. And I barely did anything. Pulled up a little bit of this top end, little bit of this low end, and then I notched a couple of frequencies, three frequencies out. I still don't know what they are, but it just added so much energy. And I think it was just because I was just using my ears and just moving knobs around instead of having to be like, well, I saw this guy add 16K on his mix bus, so I'm gonna go do that or whatever. I don't know. You guys just download the demo for this at least and just try it. Just use it on a mix, use your ears, have some fun. The only thing that I would say that you need to do whenever you are using this is reference a bunch. Use your references for whatever type of song you're mixing, whether it's worship music, which is mostly what I work on, or whether it's rock or rap or whatever, and just use your references and keep going until you kind of EQ it until it sounds like that. Because I think a lot of times, I know I do this, I overdo it on the plugins a lot of times, and I think I don't need to. I think I'm just being so visually manipulated by some of these plugins that I need to keep adding and doing more and doing more. But a lot of time you can just grab an EQ, make 4 or 5 changes or less maybe, and it's a huge difference. And it can drastically improve your mix. It can drastically improve your joy when mixing, because you'll have less frustration because you're just sitting there enjoying the changes that are being made and that are pleasing to your ear and not pleasing to your eye. And that's a big deal. So shout out to Black Salt Audio for coming out with a plugin like this. I think this is awesome. I know Jordan, he's one of the owners. I don't know him very super well or anything like that, but I know that I've seen him talk about this kind of stuff, about how people are scared to make big changes because it looks visually weird on an EQ, or it looks looks bad, right? What does bad looking in audio even mean? That shouldn't actually mean anything, because it's all about what it sounds like, what it feels like. And so this brings you back into the sound of, the feeling and everything. And so I've been having so much fun using this. And like I said earlier in the video, I think I've gotten better at EQing because of this, because I have, not only have I used this plugin, which is super cool, but when I go grab to another EQ that maybe I usually use on other songs or certain things that hey, I like this sound of this EQ on, I'm not scared to make it look stupid, whatever that means, right? I'm not scared to boost 15 dB on something because, oh my gosh, that's exactly what I want it to sound like, instead of oh, I'm going to boost or cut 2 or 4 dB because that's what you quote unquote should do. No, there's literally no rules. And this is one of those plugins that that kind of breaks you out of your habitual ways of EQing, which you can easily get stuck in. I get stuck in all this stuff like that all the time. Anyways, give this plugin a try. Give this type of thing a try. Maybe just go to your EQ and tell yourself it doesn't matter what it looks like and start messing with it. But if you guys decide to pick this up, use my link down below. That would be awesome. And there's also a free mixing cheat sheet down below for live worship recordings. And if you're interested in music production at all, I'd love you guys to subscribe. Hang out with me. I post videos every Tuesday. And yeah, just want to help you guys get better mixes, better productions. And yeah, hey, I love you. And by the way, Jesus loves you. Not sure if you knew that or not. But now you do. So you can rejoice. Anyways, bye.